She says she wants a nice guy but keeps going back to the one who barely texts her back. Ever wondered why, gentlemen, there's a hidden language? Women speak a silent craving that most men never understand. These aren't the things she posts on Instagram. These are the subconscious desires that influence who she falls for and who she forgets. Today, you'll discover 7 hidden secrets that women secretly crave, rooted in female psychology, filtered through Stoic philosophy, and delivered with a punch of truth. Most men aren't ready to hear. Miss just one of these, and you might be wasting years chasing the wrong path, ready to stop guessing and start leading. Let's begin 1. She craves emotional safety, not emotional sing. Most men believe being emotionally open means pouring out every feeling fear and insecurity. But here's the truth through a Stoic lens. Women don't crave your emotional breakdowns. They crave your emotional grounding. She doesn't need you to be a robot. She needs you to feel deeply without falling apart. The man who can experience emotion but remain composed and steady is magnetic. Why? Because in her chaotic emotional world, you become her anchor, the calm center she can trust. If your emotions are crashing waves, she'll steer away. But if you're the lighthouse, bright, stable, and unshaken, she's instinctively drawn to you. And no, you don't have to move to Nepal, shave your head, and quote Marcus Aurelius while sipping herbal tea. Stoic masculinity is about remaining centered in storms, not denying that storms exist. It's not that she doesn't want to see your emotions. She just wants to know you're in control of them, not the other way around. That builds an unspoken trust, and trust is deeply attractive. But if you think emotional safety is enough to win her heart, wait until you uncover what she secretly desires when no one's watching. 2, she craves masculine silence over empty words. You've probably been there. She looks at you and asks, "What are you thinking?" And you reply with the classic, "Nothing seems like a dead end, right?" But here's the twist. That silence isn't a flaw. It's a hidden strength. Modern culture pushes men to be more expressive, more vocal, more open, but Stoic wisdom teaches the opposite. Power lies in presence, not performance. Women crave depth, and depth doesn't come from talking endlessly. It comes from a man who watches, listens, and understands more than he reveals. A man who carries himself with quiet confidence sends a signal. You are stable, grounded, and in control. Let's face it, if endless talking made you irresistible, every podcast host would be a global heartthrob. Stoicism offers a simple rule. Speak only when your words are better than your silence. That kind of restraint builds mystery, and mystery fuels attraction. It's not about being distant, it's about being deliberate. That silence becomes a canvas where she paints. Curiosity, respect, and desire. But make no mistake, silence means nothing without this next trait. It's the difference between a man she dates and a man she dreams about. 3, she craves direction, not domination. Here's where most men get it wrong. They think taking the lead means being controlling. But true leadership isn't about barking orders. It's about offering direction with quiet confidence. Women are biologically wired to feel secure around a man who knows where he's going. Not because he forces control, but because he offers clarity. It's not about being the boss, it's about being the compass. When you walk into a room with certainty, when you make decisions without second guessing, you become the calm center of her emotional storm. She doesn't want you to dominate her. She wants to trust that you won't crumble under pressure, that when life throws chaos your way, you won't ask her what to do, you'll already know. And no, that doesn't mean you start calling her woman and pointing at maps like you're in a Viking movie. Stoicism teaches us to act with purpose, not force. The man who leads himself. First becomes the man she's eager to follow. But leadership alone isn't enough. Because without this next trait, even the strongest man becomes forgettable in her mind and invisible in her heart. 4. She craves emotional precision, not emotional dumping. There's a myth floating around that vulnerability means telling her everything, every fear, frustration, and late-night insecurity. But here's the Stoic truth. It's not about being an emotional threat, it's about being a precise blade. Women aren't repelled by your feelings. They're repelled by emotional chaos. What draws her in is your ability to express yourself with intention. When you speak with emotional clarity, when you name what you feel, explain why it matters, and do it all without losing your center. You create intimacy without instability. It's like this. A surgeon doesn't just start slicing wildly. He uses a scalpel. Your emotions should be the same. Sharp, intentional, and rare. Think of it like seasoning a steak. You don't dump the whole salt shaker on it. You sprinkle it. Unless you want her running for water or the exit, emotional precision shows strength. It tells her, I've done the inner work, I don't need to unload on you, I'm inviting you into my world. That kind of communication, it makes her feel safe, seen, and respected. But even with emotional mastery, there's one thing she needs more than words, and most men completely overlook it. 5. She craves energetic leadership, not just physical presence. You can be in the same room with her and still feel 1,000 miles away. Why? Because being physically present isn't the same as showing up with purpose. Women crave energetic leadership, that magnetic pull of a man who moves with intent, not laziness, who walks into a room like he knows why he's there, not just to exist but to lead with presence. She doesn't want a passive passenger. She wants a captain who's steering the ship even when the sea is calm. It's not about being loud or dominant. It's about the energy you project, your body language, your tone, your decisiveness. These subtle signals tell her, you're safe. I've got this. No, this doesn't mean you have to strut around like you're auditioning for a cologne commercial, unless the cologne is called Stoic. Swagger, Stoic. Philosophy teaches us to act deliberately. Your presence should communicate purpose even when you're silent. Because when a man carries that calm, commanding energy, she doesn't just notice him. She trusts him, but even with powerful energy, there's one secret ingredient that makes her feel deeply connected. And without it, everything else starts to fade. 6. She craves attuned attention, not constant validation. Here's the trap many men fall into thinking. Attention equals validation, so they overcompensate texting. Non-stop, showering her with compliments, liking every post like a loyal fan. But here's the truth. She doesn't want a fan. She wants a man who sees her. Attuned attention means you notice what others miss. You sense the shift in her mood, the subtle hesitation in her voice, the story behind her silence. You're not just reacting. You're reading between the lines. And guess what? That kind of presence hits deeper than 1,000. You're so beautiful texts. Because let's face it, if constant flattery worked, Instagram DMs would be full of happily married couples, not ghosted dudes and cringe emojis. She wants to feel known, not praised on autopilot. The Stoic man doesn't give validation for approval. He offers attention as a form of care, a quiet, focused kind of awareness that says, I see you. Even when you don't say a word. That's the kind of attention that builds emotional gravity, the force that keeps her orbiting around you. But attention, without this final secret, it fades, and once it's gone, so is her desire. 7. She craves your unshakable peace. In a chaotic world, a man with inner peace is irresistible. Not because he's flashy, but because he doesn't flinch. He doesn't chase validation. He doesn't react. He responds. This kind of peace comes from mastering your thoughts, your time, and your mission. It's the core of Stoic masculinity. A man who is calm in the storm because he is the storm's eye. And when a woman senses that peace, she'll crave it. Because peace isn't just what she wants, it's what she wishes she could have within herself. You become not just her lover, but her sanctuary. Now that you know these 7 hidden cravings, the question is, will you embody them or just nod and scroll to the next video? The Stoic path isn't about pretending to be perfect. It's about becoming powerful in silence, in presence, in purpose. If this video made you rethink even one part of how you show up, like it, share it, and hit that subscribe button because this journey has only just begun. Stay grounded.